Hey man, winter driving tips. I've seen a few videos on here. They make some good points. I cover a couple things in here I haven't seen other drivers talk about, so it might be able to help you out. The biggest thing, winter driving, man, is just slow down. That's really it. You may trust your skills. You might be a hell of a winter driver, but the other guy, the one wearing flip flops, isn't. Um, accidents happen fast, man. If you can get off the road, if you don't have to have a set schedule, man, if you can push it for a little bit, that's cool. Ride that storm out till the roads get salted. I'm riding it out right now in a truck stop because CB tells me the road shut down ahead of me. 2 trucks sideways near the top of the hill. Couldn't make it over the top. Got sideways. I'm in Pennsylvania. Another thing is black ice, and that's just a mystery, man. You know, it's just, you'll hit it or you won't. If you've ever hit it, man, you know exactly what it is. You can't tell it's coming. I hit black ice once going up a little incline. No snow, decent weather, was just cold in Ohio. Man, I was in the median before I could even blink. There wasn't any center guardrails or wire posts or anything, thank goodness. And also, nobody was on it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. Nobody was on the other side of the road. And so I got lucky, even though I had the wreck. But dude, I hit the gas, went through the median, come up the other side, because don't hit the brakes. I mean, if you have the option, if your head's clear, don't hit the brakes. Don't get stopped in the freaking ditch, then you're stuck and you got to get a tow truck and it costs you $1,800. And you'll get a ticket because you failed to maintain control, you were excessive speed for the conditions, whatever they'll think up, they'll give you a ticket. So anyway, man, I hit the side of the road, I got on the other side, checked my truck real quick, make sure no tires were getting ready to get busted or jammed up or the bumper wasn't slammed into one of them. I spun that thing around, hauled ass till I got to the next off-ramp. That's where I pulled off and got a tow truck, because first off, it's a lot cheaper. They're not rescuing me. I'm not getting a ticket, and it's just better that way. If you can avoid those situations, I don't know, I'm trying to say, I'm not. If you're a company driver, you're probably SOL. But if you're an owner operator, man, avoid those extra expenses. Anyway, God, I'm rambling. Let me talk about some of the things I do in the winter when I drive. And without further ado, here we go. Now, you'd think in this modern era they'd figure out some way to de-ice your windshield wipers, but they always ice up when you're in the snow. It's not really feasible to pull over every 15 minutes to clean your wipers. So I'm here at a truck stop to show you this so I don't commit suicide while holding the camera in one hand and doing this in the other. Pull your seat all the way forward, tip your steering wheel up, roll your window down, and just reach out and grab your wipers. Just slap them 3 or 4 times. I'll knock all the ice off just like that. You're good to go. If anybody knows a better way of doing it or some secret to keeping them de-iced, please let me know. Another thing, when you pull into the truck stop or wherever you're going to park for the night, try to find you a spot that isn't packed down snow. It's a sheet of ice. If you can find asphalt, concrete, whatever, gravel, even better, that isn't covered, that's your best bet. A lot of times you can't. What happens is if you're on packed ice, you come in, your tires are hot, and they'll slightly melt the snow, or the ice, just a little bit. There'll be a little concave there, and you won't be able to get out. You'll be stuck. So, yeah, try to find you a flat spot or aim downhill slightly, never aimed uphill. And when you pull in, start riding your brakes. Start riding your brakes pretty hard, man, because what you're trying to do is dry them out, especially your trailer brakes. Just ride your brakes and they'll get all the moisture out, it'll dry them out. And you don't set the brakes at night when you park. A lot of guys have air leaks and stuff. You swap trailers, whatever. There's a slight air leak, so your brakes will pop. The air will bleed down. But at least leave them not set for a couple of hours till everything either freezes up or, hopefully it's dried out. Now, for your tractor brakes, when you set them, they might still freeze even though you tried to dry them out. But it's not such a big deal because you have power to them, and you can, get in the truck and jolt it back and forth a little bit, and they'll usually break loose, unlike the trailer brakes, which you'll be underneath there with a hammer, beating on them, trying to break them loose. Some guys carry a little propane torch with them just to, you know, pop those brakes loose. I never have. I usually carry a pretty good hammer, my BFH, and they'll pop loose. You know, you bang them a few times. I've only had the misfortune of having to do that a couple of times, but carry a good hammer. Also, get this stuff, brake line antifreeze. Some guys use other stuff, you know, pure alcohol or, God forbid, antifreeze or fuel line antifreeze heat, but this stuff is just as inexpensive as anything else, and it works, and it's made for it. It won't harm your system in any way. Just pour a little in your glad hands, hold them up till they start kind of overflowing, a few ounces maybe, and put them on there, and when you release your brakes, whoosh, it sends your the antifreeze through the system. Now, I run this stuff year-round because it's just good for the truck, but get you some Diesel Clean, especially in the winter. It's fuel line antifreeze. That's cheap insurance. That treats 250 gallons of fuel, basically 2.5 fill-ups. $13 at Menards. It's cheap on Amazon, and of course, you'll pay premium prices at the truck stop. I've seen it for like $23-24 at the big three, but you shop around, you can get it cheap. Always run with your lights on. I mean, even you can see just fine. Of course, the other guy can't see because his mirrors might be screwed up. You don't have heated mirrors, they can get, you know, real dirty real fast, and you're hard to see, especially on a gray day. Another tool in your arsenal is rock salt. I picked this up pretty cheap at Walmart. Some truck stops have it, and of course they charge you a premium. I've already used it, man. Stuck at a shipper on flat ground, on ice, and it works. It works great. You see this kind of dirty looking, nasty rock salt in there now? That's fine. It's used rock salt. I scooped it up the TA after a snow, and they just kind of shoveled it up out of the way. There's a big pile of it. Man, for the price of that stuff, I'll reuse old rock salt. I ain't proud. The way you use it, when you get stuck on ice, just toss it between your tires and, you know, give it a minute. And I use basically that whole bottle to get out of one little fix, but it works great. Another thing is if you're on bad roads, you're going under 25-30 miles an hour, lock in your dividers. These newer trucks will automatically kick it out if you go over, depends on what speed it's set at, I think 35 or 40 on my truck. This is a Pete. So you can just leave it on if you're on bad roads. If you have an older truck and it's manual, don't forget to turn it off, you know, when you start picking up speed again. A couple of more things I carry in my toolbox is a logging chain. I've only used it maybe twice, 3 times my whole trucking career, but dude, it saved a tow every time. Well worth it. And jumper cables, which I've used, I don't know, another half dozen times. So get you a good quality set of jumper cables, and, you know, a chain. It can pull you out of just a tight spot that, you know, these trucks get stuck on flat ground sometimes, you know, in gravel or ice, especially snow. Chain can, you know, if a fellow will help you out, it's a quick, easy, you know, he can jerk you out so you can get on solid ground. Jumper cables, I've jumped a few guys off in truck stops. I've never been jumped off myself, thank goodness. But I buy new batteries every couple of years, man, because I don't want to be in that situation. Know where a lot of these newer trucks have lugs. Know where your lugs are. You don't have to pop the hood or pop your battery box, because they have jump lugs. This is a Peterbilt. Kenworth's the same way. They're on the back of the truck behind the cab. Volvos have them in a similar spot. Just get you a good set of jumper cables, and that'll stretch, and maybe that might save your day one day or save somebody else's day. One last thing about stuff you carry in your cab, man, have good work boots, warm clothes, extra blanket, because when something goes wrong, it goes wrong at the most inopportune time. You know, it's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning and you're, I don't know, who knows, you derate. Your truck just dies for no particular reason and you're freezing your ass off. So make sure you have tools to keep yourself warm and safe. Try to keep your fuel tank above half, keep your DEF full, and, you know, just be careful out there. Dude, I've been stuck in an ice storm in Texas, and we lost power, and I had a full tank, man. I seen it coming. I try to keep a full tank in the winter, you know, close to it, over half at least. And there was other dudes, you know, just they were down to a quarter and they're stuck there for 3 days idling. It was getting kind of hairy. You know, I don't want to share my truck with anybody, but I will, so they don't freeze to death. So keep your tanks full, or keep them half full at least. And what else? Oh, you know, I write audiobooks, or write books. They're on audio. They're here on my YouTube channel. Look for the playlists. Find yourself. There's 8, 9, 10, 11. I think it's 8. Yeah, there's 11 books on there and a bunch of short stories. So if you want some good trucking books, you know, trucking versus zombies, stuff like that, give them a listen and see what you think. Anyway, y'all be safe out there and stay warm.